A woman is a masterpiece intricately designed by God, endowed with strength, grace, wisdom, and power. The world often seeks to define her by external standards, but true beauty lies in her inner essence, in the way she walks with faith, embraces her purpose, and loves deeply. In a world where distractions and temptations abound, it is essential for a woman to protect her heart and her spirit, guarding the sacred aspects of herself that make her uniquely powerful. A woman must understand that there are things that should be carefully guarded, things that should not be casually shared or exposed. These are not secrets meant to diminish her worth, but treasures to be protected with wisdom. She is not called to be hidden in darkness, but to shine in the light of God's glory. And yet there are aspects of her life that are too precious to give away without discernment. First, she must protect her emotional state. A woman is deeply emotional, created to feel and empathize in ways that are powerful and profound, but her emotions are not meant to be dictated by the whims or opinions of others. A man may seek to understand her, but only God fully understands the depths of her heart. She must not give away her emotions too easily, allowing them to be manipulated by someone who does not yet recognize their worth. Her feelings are not a commodity to be traded, but a wellspring of strength that should be guarded and shared in the right season with the right person who is worthy of that vulnerability. Second, a woman must protect her dreams. Her aspirations are the compass that guides her life. The world may attempt to define her by what she is expected to be, but only she can discern what God has called her to do. Her dreams, her purpose, these are sacred. They are not to be dismissed or belittled by someone who does not fully understand the depth of her calling. She should share them only with those who will encourage, support, and walk alongside her in her journey. A woman who does not protect her dreams is a woman who risks losing the very essence of what makes her unique. Third, a woman must guard her time. Time is a precious commodity, and a woman's time is invaluable. In a world that demands more from her, it's easy to lose track of what matters most. Her time with God, her time for personal growth, her time spent in prayer and reflection, these should never be compromised. She must not give her time to those who do not value it, but instead she must invest it in things that nourish her spirit, her soul, and her relationship with the Lord. The right people will respect her time and understand that she is not simply giving it away, but investing it in what is eternal. Fourth, a woman must protect her heart. Her heart is the seat of her emotions, her desires, and her capacity to love. It is sacred. And while a woman is designed to love deeply and unconditionally, she must be careful who she opens her heart to. Not every man is worthy of her heart, and not every man deserves to be entrusted with the depths of her soul. Her heart is to be shared only with the one who honors and values her, the one who recognizes the treasure that she is. If her heart is given too easily or too soon, she risks the pain of unrequited love or betrayal. A woman's heart is a gift, and it should be protected until the right person comes along who will cherish it as the precious gift it is. Fifth, a woman must protect her worth. Society may try to dictate her value based on her appearance, her relationship status, or her achievements, but her true worth is not found in any of these things. Her worth is in her identity as a child of God, beautifully and wonderfully made. No man, no circumstance, no momentary opinion can diminish her inherent value. She must not allow anyone to define her based on anything less than the truth of who she is in Christ. Her worth is immeasurable, and when she understands this, she will never settle for less than what God has ordained for her. She is a queen, and a queen does not allow anyone to treat her as anything less. Sixth, a woman must protect her peace. Life can be chaotic, and the demands placed on her can be overwhelming. But peace is a gift that comes from God, and it must be fiercely protected. A woman must not allow anyone or anything to steal her peace. Her relationship with God, her time of quiet reflection, and her inner calm are to be guarded at all costs. She must not let a man or anyone else disrupt the tranquility that comes from knowing she is secure in God's love. Her peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but is rooted in the unshakable foundation of God's presence in her life. Lastly, a woman must protect her faith in God as her anchor in the storms of life, the light that guides her steps, and the strength that sustains her. In a world filled with distractions and challenges, it is easy to lose sight of her faith or allow others to pull her away from her spiritual foundation. But her relationship with God is her most precious asset, and it must never be compromised. She must guard her time in prayer, her time in the Word, and her relationship with the Lord, protecting it fiercely from anyone or anything that might try to draw her away. A woman must always understand that these 7 things, her emotions, her dreams, her time, her heart, her worth, her peace, and her faith, are treasures that she has been entrusted with by God. They are not to be given away lightly or exposed to anyone who does not value them. These are the aspects of herself that will empower her to be everything God created her to be, to walk in her divine purpose, and to fulfill her calling. When she protects these sacred parts of herself, she positions herself to thrive, to live a life full of purpose, and to attract the right kind of love, the kind that honors and cherishes her. She becomes a beacon of strength, wisdom, and grace, radiating the love of God in everything she does. And in this, she becomes the woman she was always meant to be, a woman of power, of beauty, of faith, and of unwavering strength. Emotional independence is one of the most powerful aspects of a woman's character. It speaks to the depth of her inner strength, resilience, and capacity to remain grounded in her own sense of self, no matter the external influences or circumstances. For a woman, emotional independence means that she does not depend on others for validation, approval, or emotional fulfillment. It's the ability to stand strong in who she is and to protect her emotional state in a world that often demands that she conform to others' expectations. At the heart of emotional independence lies the understanding that a woman's emotional well-being should not be dictated by anyone else, especially not by the fleeting emotions or behaviors of a man. When a woman is emotionally independent, she is in control of her own feelings, responses, and emotional reactions. This is not to say that she suppresses or ignores her emotions, but rather that she understands them, processes them in a healthy way, and chooses how to express them with wisdom and discernment. A woman's emotional state is powerful, and it is important that she guards it, not out of fear or defensiveness, but as an act of self-love and self-respect. This doesn't mean she isolates herself or avoids relationships, but rather that she enters relationships from a place of strength, knowing that her emotional state is hers to nurture and protect. The importance of emotional boundaries, one of the key aspects of emotional independence, is the establishment of healthy emotional boundaries. Boundaries are vital in any relationship, and especially in a romantic one. A woman must set clear emotional boundaries to ensure that she doesn't lose herself in another person. Boundaries act as a shield that protects her emotional health while still allowing for meaningful and healthy connections with others. When a woman is emotionally independent, she can love freely without losing herself or her sense of worth in the process. She is not afraid to assert her needs, desires, and limits within the relationship. She doesn't let herself be overwhelmed by another person's emotional needs or allow herself to be manipulated or controlled by someone else's feelings. She can offer love, care, and attention without letting her own emotional well-being be compromised in the process. For example, a woman who maintains emotional independence might say no when she needs to without feeling guilty or anxious about the other person's reaction. She does not tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, and she is not afraid to walk away from situations or people that diminish her emotional health. She recognizes her worth and ensures that her emotional needs are met without compromising her integrity or values. Emotional independence leads to self-respect. Emotional independence is intrinsically linked to self-respect. When a woman is emotionally independent, she values her own feelings and is unwilling to allow others to dictate how she should feel. She doesn't give her emotional power away easily. She doesn't seek validation from others to feel good about herself because she already knows her worth. Self-respect and emotional independence means that she doesn't let anyone make her feel inferior or insignificant. It's the realization that no person, man or woman, has the power to define her emotional state unless she allows them to. By protecting her emotional world, she maintains her dignity, her peace, and her confidence. She doesn't rely on compliments, affection, or approval from others to feel validated because her value comes from within. This kind of emotional maturity helps her navigate relationships in a way that is healthy and sustainable. She is not emotionally dependent on someone else for her happiness. Rather, her happiness and fulfillment come from within, through her relationship with God, her personal growth, and her deep connection to her own sense of purpose and identity. Emotional independence enables healthy relationships, although, ironically, emotional independence is one of the best ways to foster healthy relationships. When a woman is emotionally independent, she is not looking to her partner to complete her or fill emotional voids. She does not need someone else to validate her worth or take responsibility for her happiness. Instead, she enters relationships as a whole person, bringing her own joy, peace, and sense of self to the partnership. This emotional strength allows her to offer love without expectation. She loves with authenticity, not out of need, but from a place of abundance. Her emotional independence means that she can engage with her partner on a deep level without the fear of losing herself or becoming dependent on them emotionally. She is free to communicate openly, honestly, and authentically without being afraid of being judged or misunderstood. For example, when conflicts arise in a relationship, an emotionally independent woman will handle them with maturity and wisdom. She can disagree without becoming defensive or emotional, and she can assert her needs without fear of rejection. She is not afraid to be vulnerable and share her emotions, but she does so from a place of strength, knowing that her worth is not dependent on anyone's validation. Avoiding codependency. Codependency is the opposite emotional independence. In a codependent relationship, one partner relies on the other for emotional support, validation, and self-worth. Codependency can be unhealthy and detrimental because it fosters an imbalance in the relationship, with one person always giving and the other always taking. An emotionally independent woman is not codependent. She understands the importance of self-care, of nurturing her own emotional health before giving to others. She does not expect someone else to meet all of her emotional needs, nor does she take on the burden of meeting all of her partner's emotional needs. She recognizes that both partners in a relationship are individuals with their own emotional responsibilities, and both must contribute to the emotional health of the relationship in a balanced way. Protecting your emotional world means protecting your purpose. A woman's emotional well-being is intrinsically connected to her sense of purpose. When a woman is emotionally independent, she is free to pursue her passions, dreams, and goals without being sidetracked by emotional distractions or challenges. Her emotional energy is focused on building her life, growing spiritually, and fulfilling her God-given potential. She understands that emotional independence allows her to live a life of purpose and significance. She can invest her energy into things that truly matter to her, rather than being drained by relationships or people that do not support her growth. Her emotional health is the foundation upon which she builds her dreams, and she protects it fiercely to ensure that she can continue to thrive and pursue her calling with vigor. Conclusion. Emotional. A woman's emotional well-being is intrinsically connected to her sense of purpose. When a woman is emotionally independent, she is free to pursue her passions, dreams, and goals without being sidetracked by emotional distractions or challenges. Her emotional energy is focused on building her life, growing spiritually, and fulfilling her God-given potential. She understands that emotional independence allows her to live a life of purpose and significance. She can invest her energy into things that truly matter to her, rather than being drained by relationships or people that do not support her growth. Her emotional health is the foundation upon which she builds her dreams, and she protects it fiercely to ensure that she can continue to thrive and pursue her calling with vigor. Conclusion. Emotional independence is not about isolation or detachment from others. It is about understanding the power and value of a woman's emotional world and taking steps to protect it from being diminished or manipulated by others. When a woman is emotionally independent, she enters relationships as a whole person with the ability to love, give, and support others without losing herself in the process. It is essential for a woman to recognize that her emotional well-being is her responsibility. She must protect her heart, mind, and soul from being swayed by external forces or someone else's opinions. When she maintains emotional independence, she ensures that her relationships are healthy, balanced, and fulfilling. Ultimately, emotional independence empowers a woman to live her life fully, embrace her true potential, and navigate life with strength, wisdom, and grace. A woman's dreams are her heart's deepest desires, the manifestations of her vision for a meaningful and purposeful life. These aspirations are unique, personal, and sacred. They represent not only her hopes and ambitions, but also her potential, her purpose, and her unique contribution to the world. To a woman who wants to lead a fulfilled and empowered life, it is essential that she guards these dreams fiercely and ensures that no one, especially a man, has the power to diminish or alter them. The journey to realizing her dreams requires clarity, commitment, and an unwavering belief in her own abilities. It demands courage, persistence, and most importantly, the emotional strength to stay true to her vision, even when the world around her offers distractions or discouragement. Women have historically faced obstacles in pursuing their aspirations, social expectations, gender roles, and even personal doubts. But the woman who understands the sanctity of her dreams knows how to navigate these challenges with grace and strength. The sanctity of a woman's aspirations, dreams are more than just ambitions. They are reflections of a woman's heart and soul. When a woman dreams, she taps into her innate purpose and desire to make a difference in her life and the lives of others. These dreams are born from deep within her, often shaped by her experiences, her values, and her desires for the future. To her, these aspirations are not negotiable. They are sacred and must be protected with reverence. For a woman to achieve her dreams, she must believe in their worth. Every aspiration, no matter how big or small, has significance. The world may not always understand or validate her vision, but she must have the strength to trust her own instincts and keep moving forward, regardless of the opinions of others. The ability to protect and guard her dreams is a manifestation of self-love and self-respect. She knows that her dreams are not just for her. They are part of the legacy she is destined to leave behind. The influence of others on a woman's dreams and relationships. A woman's dreams can sometimes be compromised. This is particularly true in romantic relationships, where the influence of a partner can unintentionally lead to a woman putting aside her personal aspirations for the sake of the relationship. While compromise is a vital aspect of any partnership, it is crucial that a woman does not allow her dreams to be sidelined or erased by someone else's desires or expectations. There is a fine line between compromise and the loss of one's identity and purpose. A woman must never lose sight of her own aspirations in a relationship. While she may share her dreams with her partner, it is essential that she continues to prioritize them and nurture them, even if it requires taking time and energy away from other areas of life. Relationships should support and encourage the growth of both individuals, not demand that one person sacrifices their dreams for the others.